Hi everyone, in continuation with the previous video that we've written, we will now print the values of each variable that we created using the Printf method. We'll also be demonstrating the use of the conversion character and the precision specifier. Okay, so when we use the Printf method, sorry about that. And that's our string. We start, whenever we want to display the values, we'll start with a formatting rule using the percentage sign. So with the percentage sign, this indicates that there is a formatting rule, which can be followed by any of the following specifiers. So we've got the flag, the width, which I'll talk about in future videos. But in today's video, I'm going to cover the precision specifier and the conversion letter. Now, conversion letters could be examples of them. So D is for whole numbers. So this is the whole numbers. All of this range can be covered within the D conversion character. F for floating values. So these can be used to display floats and doubles. C for chars, B for booleans, and S for strings. So let's go ahead and use the Printf method to display each of our primitive and non-primitive data type that we created. Okay, so I'm going to start with the byte. So here I could say the value of byte, and I could just use the character conversion using the letter D. Okay, then I need to actually also indicate which variable is my whole number, and that's going to be the store one byte or the byte one. Okay, and I'll do the same now for the other four. And I'll make sure to have a new line at the start of each line because this is not a print line method. And the value of short, the value of integer, and the value of long. I just need to grab those variables. And this was the 8 one. Okay. So, did I call it something else? 8 bytes. Oh, it's with an S in the end. Okay. Now let me run the program. Let's see what we have. So this is basically displaying the values that we've got. So 127 and just basically everything. So don't forget that that's a letter L. That's not number 1. So this is working as expected. Good. Let's go ahead and continue. The next two values are going to be for the floating numbers. So then we will need to use the conversion character F. I'm just going to copy this line and the value of float, and I'll make sure that I indicate that this is going to be a float value, and repeat that line. For the double, value of double, I'm just going to copy that. And now I'm going to also run that. So the values are displayed as expected. You can decide the number of decimal points to display using the precision specifier. So after the formatting rule, before the conversion character, you can decide how many precision points you would like your float or double to be displayed. So for the float, I could do, for example, for the float, I could do, so before the conversion character, I could do a dot and decide how many decimals I would like my variable to display. So I'm just going to go 4 decimal points. And for the double, I could do up to, for example, 10. And let's run the program. And so you'll see this is 4 decimal points for the float being displayed and 10 for the double. Okay. Now let's also do the non-numeric primitive data types. So let's do the character. So I'm going to copy that and I'll say the value of character, and here I will specify that my conversion character is a char. So I'm going to copy my variable and put it there. And now I'll do the same thing for Boolean. The value of Boolean, and I'll use this conversion character, the letter B, to indicate that next is going to be a Boolean data type. And let me run these and see what we have there. So we've got the character A, and that's the value that our the char or the char data type is holding, and the Boolean is true. Obviously, if I change the value here, the displayed result is also different here. Okay, so let's now work on displaying non-primitive data types. So to display a string is pretty much the same. I just need to use the letter S for the conversion character to indicate that this is a string. That's what we called it. Let's run to make sure that it's working. Yes, it is. And for the arrays, it's pretty much the same, but I need a loop. So I can access each one of these instead of writing them in 3 lines. So I'm going to use a for loop, and I'll call my local variable index. And when index is less than and the name of my array, the length of that. And I will use the length property to know the size of my array. And now I can just use one print statement. The value of string at index. And now I can say I can also use 2 conversion characters. So at index D, the decimal or a whole number is, and then I have a string. Then here I need to specify that I'm going to display the index and the actual value of the array at that index. Okay, let's run the program, cancel. I've got an issue with my program. Oh, and I forgot to increment that value. Okay, so the string value at index 0 is string 1, and that's true. And at index 1, it's string 2. At index 2, it's string 3. So this is working as expected. Now, how do we display the values of our user-defined one? So then I can use or repeat some of these inside my class. So what I can do is, because I can't access these values, these were private variables, they can't be accessible from outside this class or this class. So I can have a method, which I wanted to write earlier, called print value, and I can display the values, the value of integer, and also I could use that value, and I can do the same, the value of character C, and now to access this method I can use the reference variable that we created. This is referring to this object that we created from that data type that we created. So I can use that. I just need to call the method, and it's called print value. And this will call this method because it's public and will print the values. So let's run that. And so the value at, sorry, this is kind of stuck. I need to have a new line there. Just give me a second. New line and a new line. Let's run it again. Okay, so the value of integer is 5 and the value of character is A. And that's it. So in this video, we've actually used the printf method and showed how we can use a formatting rule using the %sign, followed by any of these specifiers. So we've only worked with the precision for this video, which were the ones to display the floating and double points. And the conversion characters, we used the letter D for whole numbers, and F for floating numbers, C for characters, B for booleans, and S for strings. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.